Welcome to Face Islam, the program dealing with the subjects that face Muslims every day. Today I want to talk about a word in Arabic, Nisa, or An-Nisa, the women. There's a chapter in the Quran, chapter 4, called An-Nisa, the women. What is the status or the role of the women in Islam? I think probably that's one of the biggest topics that we hear about again and again and again. We're hearing experts, university professors, politicians, and talk show hosts, news people going on and on and on, all about the women in Islam, oppression and the aggression, the punishment coming to women and how they suffer. And what is the truth behind all of that? Is there something to this? Well, let's examine the negative side first, and then we'll see if there's a positive side. Are there women, Muslims, today who are suffering? Answer, yes. Are there women, Muslims, today being abused? Answer, yes. Are there women, Muslims, who are being run over, are put out, impoverished, without any hope? And the answer? Likely. So, does that mean Islam is bad? Well, hold on a second. If we removed the word Muslim out of each one of those questions, it would still be true, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it? Aren't there women around the world who are being oppressed, abused, and suffering? Yes or no? Yes. Does that mean life is bad? Does that mean the planet is bad? So let's keep it in perspective. Does Islam teach people to abuse women? No, it does not. The opposite is true. In fact, listen carefully to this statement. It's coming from your Lord, your Creator, telling us that He, Allah, never oppresses. He never commits dhulm. We talked about that in one of our other programs. But also, He forbids us to do that. So in Islam, it's forbidden to abuse, to oppress, and to attack or hurt or injure anybody. In fact, look at this. Any damage you do to a human being, anything, even a light tap like this, you're responsible for that. On the day of judgment, you will be paid back for every single thing you did to anybody. And that's not a joke. So before anybody lifts their hand up to do anything, they better think about it real clear. Because if you harm anyone, you'll receive that same thing back. This is a promise in Islam. You cannot abuse. And if you said, well, some Muslim men do that, okay, and what's your point? They didn't get it from Islam. They got it from being a human being who is thoughtless. And we talked about that in one of our other programs before. Heedless, ghafla. He's doing what he wants to do without realizing or thinking about the consequences. And by the way, some women do the same thing. Some women are abusing men or other women or their children. And some children are abusing their parents. All of that's true, not just with the Muslim population, the entire population of the planet. You have these problems. Islam is the solution to this problem. Because Islam, if you follow it, you do it for the sake of the God that created you. And you remember He's watching you, knowing what you're doing, knowing what you're thinking, knowing what you're feeling all the time. And you keep your hands to yourself. You don't lay hands on anybody, not even in an affectionate way unless it's a close relative. We Muslims are forbidden to touch any women, even to shake hands. That's how clear it is in Islam that we keep our hands off of the women, except in the affectionate way for your wife or your mom or your daughters, to let them know that you care about them, but you don't put your hands on women. This is Islam. I want to be clear about that. What is the role of the woman in Islam, though? It must be pretty good. In fact, we find that she keeps all of her money. And what she inherits, she keeps all of. We talked about that in one of our programs, didn't we? And the man takes care of the women. Yes? And I've heard women say, hey, I like this. This is the ideal situation. You know, what's mine is mine, and what's his is mine too. I like that. And we see today more women entering Islam than men. In fact, to the extent that in some cases, in some countries I visited, 4 times as many women came to Islam as men, some 6 or 8 times as many. But always, in all cases, if we have one man come into Islam, there's at least another woman, equal up or more, again and again and again. Why would so many women be coming to Islam if these allegations and accusations were true? The fact is, Islam is the solution to that problem, to give women their rights, to give them the protection, and to give them the proper status that they were created to do in the first place, to be the mother, to be the leader, to be the one to raise the children up, and to be sure the husband stays on track. That's the job of the mother, and to worship Allah alone without partners, just as the men do. That's the role of the women, and that's face Islam. La, 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 la.